Hello, Calum here. Another video coming towards you. Uh, One from men only again. So let's get into this one.
Doing this to your man, you are destroying your relationship and you don't even realize it. Remember what the most important thing is that men want. They want to be respected and they want to be supported by their women. But so many women do exactly the opposite. For example, you're out for dinner with friends and your man starts to tell a story about something that happened last Saturday. And while he's telling his story, you go like, babe, that's not at all how it went. Don't listen to him, guys. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This is what actually happened. Why do you do that? Is it so important for you to always be the one who knows everything better? And the other
It's not about knowing everything better. It's about having the last word, and that majority of females do actually want to have. I myself have the same type of issue. But I found that I tend to be correct a lot of times. So I'm just like, okay, I'll say this. Tell me when I'm wrong.
way you expose your man in front of other people is this. Let's say you're at that dinner again with friends, right? But you're late. And then you go, guys, I'm so sorry we're late. But you know, he's always so slow to get ready. And then he was wearing this jacket. Guys, I can't. He has to get rid of that jacket. It's really old and ugly. And maybe you think this is so funny. And you're looking for support from your friends to tell him as well to dump the jacket. But for a man, this really hurts his ego because men are super sensitive. And the last thing women do that's super
No, I wouldn't really say super sensitive. We just don't like to, let's say, toss away something that we find still completely fine. So if it's not broken, why fix it? That's the type of thinking that we need to go for in this type of situation.
toxic is the following. He's driving and you're next to him. And on a road that you know he has to turn to the left, he keeps on continuing straight. And you start to tell him, no, you have to turn to the left here. What you should do is say nothing. Let that man be the man he wants to be. Let him be responsible for his own mistakes. With you always trying to know everything better and with trying to change him, there will come a day when your man will have lost his attraction for you.
Yeah, because in general, men don't like to really be told what they're doing wrong all the time. So if you end up doing that, it's not going to work out in your favor whatsoever. Like you every guy will end up losing attraction, especially the moment when you're doing that wrong. Hey, can you do that? Can nitpicking at every little thing, saying that they're wrong. Uh in that situation for the driving, okay. Yeah. By the way, we had to turn back there, but let's just see where you're gonna go. You could find a quicker way than what I know. So let's see how that goes. Like having a proper conversation rather than the type that she's describing just does not work.
I'm scared of sex. Like, honestly, I admit it. I'm so scared of being intimate with a person because it's such a vulnerable thing. And first of all, I am so freaked out of doing that with someone that I don't know. And it's always going to be someone that you don't know because it's going to be someone new that you meet, right? And then get to know. So, first of all,
It's not everyone that you don't know. You just need to pick the people that are close to you. For example, a lot of people that end up starting with a friend, see what it's like, someone that you can trust, and someone that you know doesn't have an STD or whatever. But there are options.
you need to build up that level of intimacy and connection that you would feel comfortable to do that. And also, I'm just freaked out. I'm freaked out about my own body. I'm freaked out about body hair and like how much of it is visible. And I'm freaked out thinking about what if the lights are on and the person is looking at you and they're seeing all your flaws. And it's interesting because
No one cares about your flaws. They just care about what's going on in the room.
as people, we're so selfish. We're so focused on us and our issues, and we're not thinking about the fact that the other person might have insecurities as well. But us as women, and I've talked to many women about this, we're always like, I don't care if my partner looks like this, or, I don't care about hair, I don't care about any of these things. Like us as girls, we don't care. And
Uh, you say you don't care as girls, but look online. Look everywhere in the world. They all care to some extent. It's kind of ridiculous. If you compare guys to girls for how they care and what ways that they care about, it is complete landslide right there.
We're so worried about what the other person is going to think about us that it's really hard to open up and let the person in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For opening up, that comes down to the first, second, third date interview. Interview each other. See how you guys work out. You don't need to run into the sack immediately, no matter how much one party may want it compared to the other one. But if you're scared of it, enjoy the time, get to know the person. If you eventually feel the need to actually be like, by the way, I'm scared of this, so can we take it slow? Can we figure things out? Just basic things like that can go a long way.
To tell you the best long distance relationship advice that you have ever heard. I've been in long distance for 6 years now, and I was so sick of that generic long distance advice like make sure you plan date nights on the phone once a week or watch movies once a week together. I was like, this is so hard. Like, how do I actually survive this and thrive through this? I don't need to know about how often to talk or that we should play games on our phone together. Like, how do I actually do this?
Well, spending time together is actually the way you do it for long distance. It's quite simple. It's just like, okay, you play games together. You probably found a nerd that doesn't really go hiking or shoot his gun or whatever. Like, you found a nice little nerdy guy. So just spend time with him online, spend time with him on a game, do little simple things. Because if you are gaming, more than likely you're going to talk about random crap. So you don't really have to worry about it or think about these type of things.
What you're going to do is you're going to take control of the power of your focus. Long distance is either going to be the most miserable experience of your life, or you can set yourself up to use this time as a gift. That's right. It can actually improve your relationship. So what you're going to do is throughout the day, you are going to practice using your mind to focus on the things that you love about your partner and your relationship, the things that you're excited to do together, the feeling of being together and
yeah, if you focus on this so much like what she's doing, it can either bring you apart or throw you the complete opposite direction because you start to feel more and more lonely. And then that makes you starve for attention, and then you end up finding some random person on the street that ends up taking care of you one way or another.
Cuddling or doing something fun, visualizing these things.
This woman
Yeah.
Women are not designed to work like men. Speak for yourself. I'm in a male-dominated industry, good at it, and have no issue out-competing men at it.
Good for you.
Good for you, my friend, and I mean that sincerely. Notice I did not say that women can't work as hard as men, but I think it's just a biological reality that women have different energy levels based on our cycle. Pregnancy and breastfeeding takes a lot out of us physically that men don't.
Okay, during those times, you're normally on that type of leave to the point where you're not working. And as for that time of month, okay, sure. 1 week, you may not be able to keep up with the guys. But beyond that, the rest of what she's saying is not technically true. It just doesn't work.
Have to deal with. And statistically, working women still bear the bigger burden of housework and caring for the home and caring for the kids.
No, it does need to be just on the woman. Because if you're at work, he's at work, you take turns taking care of the kids. You take turns with everything within the home. So it's like, okay, if one parent's been with all the kids since he got home, okay, you can go home, do a little bit of cleaning, whatever. Because more than likely he made a mess, or vice versa. You or the kids, you made a mess. Someone else needs to do the cleaning. You just take turns with said thing depending on your work schedule.
Statistically, women have to take off more to go take care of their children. And so, absolutely, women can work just as hard. And everybody's situation is different. Everybody's temperament and physical capacity is different. And in my opinion, a lot of women, not all women, do better when they're able to honor the rhythms of their bodies and work with our bodies rather than against them.
Does this actually account for majority of women that don't want to work? So if you're going by how your body actually wants to work, then that means that you should just stay home, do absolutely nothing, and be paid for that. Because that's essentially what you're telling me, because that's the feminist nature of the body. Oh, I want to be a stay at home, whatever, because it's just simple and I don't have to work.
Yeah, we can power through, but I think a lot of women pay the price. I think that's why a lot of women are burned out. We're all advocating for the same thing here, women working and earning money so that they're not in a bad position. But just because women can excel in male-dominated industries doesn't mean that all of them should or have to. So I do speak for myself, and I'm happy that you're speaking for yourself. And for me personally, I don't have anything to prove to any man. Not my dad, my brothers, my ex, my partner. I'm in competition with myself to create the best life that I can with the tools I've been given.
Listen,
Yeah, you did definitely give the best life that you can for what you have. That's definitely a thing. But right now, when you sit back, your head looks so tiny compared to those shoulders.
What if you're talking to somebody online and you never actually meet them? This is low-key the worst. You know why? If you're talking to somebody online and you build up this intense connection, but you don't actually meet, you have two problems. The first problem is you have no guarantee that it's actually going to go well once you do see each other, because you feel like you know this person really well, but it can be the case that the physical connection is completely different than what you have over the phone, because it is different. Speechless conversation is very important. I'm talking about gestures, talking about face expressions, talking about seeing how the person interacts in the outside world. All of that matters, and all of
It doesn't need to be the outside world, because if you're always on camera, you can see the facial expressions. You can see everything that she just mentioned, but she just tacked on in the outside world. That doesn't matter, because, like, okay, you could get this connection. You could enjoy each other so much, but oh, you're in real life? Oh, wait, I don't like on how your face looks, or I didn't realize your shoulders were like that. Like, she could just nitpick at any little thing, even though she knows that your personality is actually perfect for hers. But there's just that little type of nitpick situation, because it's like, oh, things went so well before, I must find some issue.
that leads you to know a person really well and to truly know a person, like actually know them. Number two is the factor of loyalty. So you're talking to this person that's not actually part of your day-to-day life in the sense of you interact with them physically, but you are loyal to them. You are loyal to this person. You know, you have this person somewhere in the world. By the way, if you're dating someone from a different country, it's just all the more enticing, because in the beginning you're like, oh, this is so cute. You know, we can do so many cute things. We can like write letters, whatever, yada, yada. And then eventually it just becomes really frustrating. You have no idea whether that potential is going to pay off. And also, you know so many things about them that you should know. You know their family dynamics, you know their friends, you know all these things about their life, but you're not actually part of it.
you know that
Okay, you got to know everything about their life. So why not make a trip? Majority of countries allow you just to go there with a basic green card, if not a little travel visa. That really doesn't cost that much money to do A, B, or C. But just in general, she's nitpicking at any little thing that can possibly go wrong, because she knows the moment that she sees the in person, she's just going to be completely against it. I don't know why, but a lot of females are actually like this.
So I went on a date with this guy, and it's a first date, so it's like, keep it light. We don't, I just don't like when people try to future plan. Like, let's see if this is the vibe. But he said something that really struck me as odd, and not something I want to venture into, but basically the gist of it was, he wants to get to a place in a relationship where he feels like if he needs to go through someone's phone, or they need to go through his phone to feel comfortable, like, that's good and okay. And I was like, I understand the intent with that. You're basically saying, like, you're transparent or whatever, but I don't understand the intent with that. Like, if you want to go through someone's phone, or they need to go through his phone to feel comfortable, like, that's good and okay. And I was like, I understand the intent with that. You're basically saying, like, you're transparent or whatever, But in my years of dating, I've never wanted to go through someone's phone. That's coming not from a good place. I don't think that's a positive thing, that you feel that you need to go through their phone. And he's like, well, don't you ever get, everything's going great, but you have a feeling? And I'm like, yeah, that's your gut. You need to be listening to your gut. If your gut is gutting, you don't need to go searching for it, because
normally if your gut is gutting, you need to search for it because you feel like something's going to happen. You feel like for instance, she's not enjoying your company nearly as much as what she did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever. Meanwhile, you see her smiling more away from you rather than towards you. Yes, you need to be gutting and see as to what happens, or actually try to figure out whether she's going to leave you or not, because that's how a lot of relationships actually end up going.
it's probably something's wrong, And I don't think that having openness of going through each other's phones is healthy, nor anything I ever desire or want. And there's things in group.
Well, essentially, it wouldn't be always going through it, in my opinion. It'd only be under certain circumstances that one should actually ask to do so. Because a lot of people are secretive, in which case it's just like, okay, scope out these. I'll just check out the text from the last couple days, whatever. They don't really need to scope through everything. What's the point?
Text messages and whatever, they don't need to know that. It's none of whoever I'm dating's business. And yeah, so work on yourself.
By the way, when I was saying all that, I was referring to when you're in a marriage, not actually dating one-on-one. To me, marriage is more sacred, and yeah. Or if you're been with someone for, let's say, 2+ years, and if you're still dating, I don't know what's wrong.
So you don't feel like you need to go through someone's phone to have peace and contentment in a relationship.
Picture.
I met this really beautiful guy on Bumble, right? And he is 5'10" and I'm 5'9", so one good chiropractic adjustment and he's calling me daddy, but that's not really the point. Before I was going to ask him my standard question of what's a conspiracy theory you believe in, he sent me a question prompt, so I had to ask him a question about what he wanted me to ask him about. He was like, ask me about my family, and I was like, fine. Do you have any siblings? And he responded, 1, but we can make more. Not only was that not math or science, but it was also not history or knowledge. And I could have been mean, but I wasn't. I was nice. I responded 6 out of 10. Points for creativity. I could have said 2 out of 10, you disgust me, but I didn't. I was like, what sibling do you have? He was like, a brother. He had a sister, she would slap him into shape for me. I wouldn't have to do anything. But if he has a brother, I have a...
Okay, brotherly siblings normally beat the crap out of each other in comparison to male, female siblings, because one really wouldn't want to hit the other and stuff like that. But as boys grow up, they're normally getting pounded, so she's a bit wrong on this one.
Brother. It hasn't made me a better person. I'm like, why do you even still have Bumble? I have witnessed a 21-year-old man, of whom I could theoretically dunk on, tell me that together him and I could make him more siblings. Sometimes when I want to feel things, I go on Bumble, and it delivers, okay? I was thinking, how do I time my messages? What if I sound too eager or something like that, and then he leaves me on red? I was thinking about all the normal things that people think about, and then I remembered, he's not wearing a pirate shirt. His opinion doesn't matter to me. So I have had 2 middle-aged ladies stop me on a hike to tell me that I'm beautiful. What do you bring to the table that they don't?
Picture.
Wow. I wouldn't really say you're beautiful. You are a bit cute, but damn, you just have way too much going on in that. Whew. Yeah. But that'd be it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in there. Bye-bye.